Hey everyone, and welcome back to Strategically Small. Today is day 3 of the lockdown here in Rwanda. So I'm getting started with my exercise this morning. Just as a reminder, we're not allowed to exercise outside, which is why I'm doing my exercise indoors. And I actually did venture outside today because I needed to go to one of the local little shops. It's not like a shop, it's like a stall. And unfortunately, the lady wasn't there. The stall was closed. So that was a little disappointing, but it was very eerily quiet. It is just very quiet here in Rwanda. So I think people are following the rules and they're staying home. Are you guys exercising in your homes? Definitely comment below and let me know if there's a particular exercise routine that you follow. Let me know, like if there's a channel that I should check out. I've been doing Toni Mitchell so far. I really like her workouts. She has a lot of high intensity workouts, so it's for short periods of time. For example, this one that I did this morning was a 15-minute HIIT workout, and she nails it. I mean, I'm literally, by the end of the 15 minutes, I was fully exhausted. What is so interesting about Toni is that she makes it look so simple. You can scroll through the video and you're like, oh, I mean, that doesn't look too difficult at all. Until you actually try it, it is something serious. Do not play with her. So I have been enjoying these workouts. Remember to stay hydrated. As you can see, I always have the water close by. As much as I've been enjoying the indoor workouts, I have to admit, I definitely miss being outside in the fresh air, exercising. So I am hoping and praying that at the end of this lockdown period on July 26th, that they review and they remove the lockdown so that we can move around freely. So we'll see, and I will definitely keep you all posted on what happens at that time. Also, let me know in the comments if you're in another country where there's a lockdown currently going on. I'm very interested to see if other countries are going through what we are at the moment. So here, I had to do a grocery haul because I ran out of all of my organic produce. And as you know, we cannot actually go to the stores, so we had to get delivery. So here, I got some mushrooms. And these are oyster mushrooms, and as you can see, it's a good supply, a very large quantity. Here I have green beans, and I love green beans. I like to roast them with some garlic and olive oil and some other spices, and it comes out wonderful. I love yellow bell peppers, so I got some of those. And then I also got a whole bag of passion fruit because I pretty much eat passion fruit every morning with the oatmeal that I have in the morning. So I love passion fruit. It's one of my favorite fruits. I also got just a small quantity of carrots and onions. And I also like to roast the carrots with the string beans. That's what I will be doing. And I got some greens here, some arugula, which I will be having for a salad tomorrow. And I got a whole head of broccoli and also some fresh parsley. And I ended up putting some of that in the quinoa that I made today. So that ended up being a great addition. These are the sweet potatoes that are common here in Rwanda. It's a little different from the American ones. When you cut it open, it's white on the inside. They do have the orange ones. They're just a little bit harder to find. And of course, I got a whole bag of ginger because I throw ginger on everything. So this is my grocery haul. Lots and lots of produce. And I was very happy with the quality. Now here I made some dal. If you're from the Caribbean, you already know what dal is, but basically it's just lentils cooked down. I threw in there some sweet potatoes, but I have all sorts of spices in there. You got garlic, ginger, onion, curry powder, cumin, garam masala, all sorts of stuff to flavor it, make it nice. And then I did some quinoa that I mixed in with some garlic, olive oil, thyme, parsley, and I'm gonna throw on some of this Sabana hot pepper. This red chili is the bomb. It's with ginger and it is so good. Hey guys, welcome back to Strategically Small. Today is day 3 of the lockdown here in Rwanda. I hope you all are keeping busy and staying safe. So as you know, on this channel, we are focusing on downsizing, getting rid of debt, saving money, and increasing investments, all right? So today's topic, I wanted to talk about something that has been integral to my life over the last several years. And it is the affordability of plant-based eating in Africa, all right? So you just saw my grocery haul in the previous clips, and this is the grocery haul for the entire week, all right? Everything that you saw in that video cost me roughly $10 US, all right? That was for all the produce that I showed you. And even the $10 US that I paid for that is typically higher than what I would have paid if I were at Caballero market. As you know, we're in the lockdown, so we're not allowed to go shopping outside, so I can only get delivery. But if I had gone to the market and negotiated in person, it would have been less than $10, all right? So I wanted this video today to focus on how plant-based eating can definitely save you money overall every month on your average grocery bill. Now, I know that plant-based eating is not for everyone, and I'm not suggesting that everyone should stop eating meat or dairy, all of that. Notice I'm not saying vegan or vegetarian either, because I want to focus on whole foods. It's the plant-based eating that I want to focus on. Plus, you can be vegan and vegetarian and eat mostly processed foods and not whole-based produce, right? So I want you to simply recognize the correlation between plant-based eating and saving money. There is a direct correlation there if you're eating whole organic foods. I'm trying to demonstrate that if you incorporate more whole fruits and vegetables into your diet, it will not only benefit your physical health, your mental health and clarity, but it will also directly affect your finances, your pocket, okay? So, as I said before, what I showed you, the whole thing was $10. Now, if I spend an average of, let's say, $15 a week, I increase the number a little bit just to account for things like dry goods, beans, quinoa, rice, seasonings, oil, things that I already have on hand. So I just want to increase the number a little bit to make it more realistic. Let's say it's $15 a week. That means I will be spending an average of $60 a month on food, and that is again on the high end, because if I can go to Caballero market, I can get everything for a little bit cheaper than what I would pay for delivery, right? So groceries for a month for around $60 to me is phenomenally fantastic, all right? I don't know, what country you may be in when you're watching this video, but for me personally, I came from the US, and buying organic produce in the US is so financially crippling, literally. I used to go to Whole Foods and I would buy 5 items and it would be $100 just for 5 items. And even if you go to, let's say, a cheaper option store like Trader Joe's or your local grocery store, it's still, whenever you're buying organic produce, even if you get conventional produce, it's still much more expensive than what you would be paying for the same products here on the continent. And the products here on the continent are organic and they're cheaper. And not only that, you saw the quantity of what I had in my grocery haul. It is so much more than what you could buy in terms of the quantity in the US for much less of a price. And by the way, Rwanda is not the cheapest in terms of cost of living if we're comparing just the African countries on the continent. So if, for example, I was in a different country, it may be $5 for groceries for a week, depending on where you are on the continent. So I just wanted to point that out, that it is significantly more affordable here on the continent to eat whole food, plant-based diet. The quantity itself is significantly more than anything that you could purchase. For example, I got 4 yellow bell peppers.
If I were to get that in the US alone, organic yellow bell peppers would have cost me roughly $10. That's for that alone. Okay. So there really is no comparison if you are talking about the affordability in terms of organic fruits and vegetables between Africa and the US. There is no comparison. Africa is significantly more affordable than if you're trying to live that lifestyle in the US. Now, I do have to mention that there are some really nice options to consider if you are still in the West and you're interested in eating whole plant-based foods. There are services such as Misfits Markets or Imperfect Foods where they rescue the ugly produce or the imperfect produce that the groceries reject, and they discount it heavily to their consumer base, okay? So me personally, over the last 2 years that I was in the US, I was a subscriber and a member of Misfits Market, and they would deliver just a box every week to my door, and it was just all raw produce. It was nothing, no recipes or nothing pre-made, anything. It was just produce. And it cost me roughly $30 a week after I add in shipping. But even $30 a week for the US is significantly cheaper than what you would be paying if you had gone to Whole Foods or any other grocery store to try to buy that same produce. So my suggestion is, if you're interested and you're still in the US, to look into those type of services. Misfits Markets, Imperfect Foods, Hungry Harvest. There's a number of them now that have come up that are offering this product because people want to be healthier. They're interested in eating whole foods, and now they can get it at a steep discount. But I just want to point out, even at that discount, $30 a week, that's $120 a month, and that's just for the produce. That does not account for all of the other dry goods and things that I had accounted for in my budget, okay? So that would be roughly $150 a month compared to $60 a month if we're just taking some average numbers, right? After we account for all the dry goods in the US would be $150. In Africa, it would be roughly $60. So to me, the message is very clear that if you are here on the continent, it is not only much more affordable, it is much better quality, better quantity, and better accessibility. Things like passion fruit, I could not get that in the US. There are certain things that are available here on the continent that you will not get in the US, especially if you're in certain locations, right? So I just wanted to bring that point forward for your consideration, okay? If you are interested in eating more whole plant-based foods and incorporating that more into your diet, it will actually save you money over time. And especially if you're thinking about relocating or coming to Africa to repatriate, it definitely is a lifestyle that will be significantly cheaper than anything that you were paying for in the US. So I love that about being here. When you decide to focus on plant-based eating, the question most people have is, okay, how do I cook this raw produce? Okay, what do I do with the vegetables? What do I do with the fruit? Luckily, we live in an age where information is everywhere and it's easily accessible, okay? I am no chef by no means. I have learned how to cook very well over time simply by watching YouTube videos or walking through recipes that I find online. What I typically do, for example, you saw the dal that I made today, right? So let's say I didn't know how to make dal, okay? I would just jump onto YouTube, you type in dal, and I typically watch at least 3 to 4 videos just to kind of see like if there's different seasonings, if there's different styles that people use. And then I put them all together and I try something that is my own unique style, right? That's typically how I do it. So there's so much information and recipes online. Even if you are an amateur chef, there is no excuse. You can learn anything online these days, right? So essentially, you're able to learn over time how to create tasty dishes, how to mix spices, ingredients, different things to make your food very tasty. And as you get into the rhythm of it, you kind of know what to do with food. Like, for example, everything that I cook has a base pretty much of ginger, garlic, and onions. That is like the base of all my foods, right? But I only learned that because over time I noticed that I like the flavor profile of those ingredients as my base, and then I add on my dry seasonings and, you know, curry powders and other things on top of that. So you will sort of learn your own style as you get into it, and you'll cook food to me that when I cook food, my food tastes much better than a restaurant. That's just my opinion. So, but you will learn what to do, and you'll learn what you like and what you don't like over time. You know, there's so many creative ideas out there that with whole raw foods, you can pretty much make anything that you would like. So the focus here is not on labeling, right? So I'm not saying that I think everyone should be plant-based, and no, that's not what I'm saying here. The focus here is the correlation between eating more whole-based foods and saving money. Okay, that is the correlation that I'm trying to demonstrate here. So I hope you learned something from this, and hopefully it will save you money in the long haul. And even if you have no interest in becoming fully plant-based, I think even if you incorporate more whole foods in your diet over time, this will still save you money. So it's just food for thought. And if you're definitely still in the US, check out some of those sites where you can get the whole produce delivered to your door. Some of them have organic produce, others have a mix of organic and conventional, and others are just conventional. So depending on what you're looking for, you may want to look into those details. All right, so I will see you all tomorrow. Stay safe and be blessed. Bye.